Today we're diving into the incredible economic potential of generative AI. It's changing the game in ways we couldn't have imagined.
Oh, absolutely. I've been hearing so much about it lately. What's making generative AI such a big deal right now?
Well, it's not just an incremental change. Generative AI is poised to unleash the next wave of productivity. According to a recent McKinsey report, it could add a staggering $2.6 to $4.4 trillion annually across industries.
Wow, that's massive. So where is all this value coming from?
About 75% of the value is expected to come from four key areas: customer operations, marketing and sales, software engineering, and R&D. Generative AI is transforming the way these functions operate.
Can you give me an example of how it's changing things, say, in customer operations?
Sure, generative AI can revolutionize customer service by providing instant, personalized responses through advanced
Hmm,
chatbots. It enhances customer experience and boosts agent productivity by handling routine inquiries, allowing human agents to focus on more complex issues.
that makes sense. So it's like having an assistant that takes care of the smaller stuff, right?
Exactly. It's like having an army of helpful assistants that never sleep. And in marketing, generative AI can personalize content at scale, creating tailored messages that resonate with individual
Right.
customers.
But doesn't that raise concerns about authenticity? I mean, if AI is generating content, how do we keep it genuine?
That's a great point. Companies need to ensure that while leveraging AI, they maintain their brand voice and authenticity. It's about using AI to enhance human creativity, not replace it.
Yeah. Okay, got it. What about software engineering? How is generative AI making an impact there?
In software engineering, generative AI acts as a coding assistant, speeding up development by generating code snippets, suggesting improvements, and even identifying bugs. It can boost productivity by 20 to 45%.
Impressive. Wow, that's huge. But does that mean we'll need fewer programmers?
Not necessarily. It's more about augmenting their capabilities. Programmers can focus on higher level design and problem solving, while AI handles repetitive coding tasks. It's like giving them a powerful tool to work more efficiently.
That sounds promising. And in R&D, what's the role of generative AI there?
Generative AI can accelerate research by generating new designs, molecules, or simulations. For example, in pharmaceuticals, it can help discover new drug compounds much faster than traditional methods.
Interesting. So it's speeding up innovation across the board. But are there any risks we should be aware of?
Absolutely, there are challenges. For instance, there's the risk of bias in AI-generated content, intellectual property concerns, and the impact on jobs. Companies need to implement responsible AI practices to mitigate these risks.
Right. Speaking of jobs, how will this affect the workforce?
Well, the McKinsey report suggests that generative AI could automate work activities that absorb 60 to 70% of employees' time today. That means a significant shift in the nature of work, with some jobs changing and new ones emerging.
That's a big change. Do you think the workforce is ready for that?
It's going to require investment in reskilling and upskilling.
Yeah.
Companies and governments need to support workers as they transition into new roles and learn new skills.
But isn't there a risk that some workers might be left behind?
Yes, that's a real concern. It's crucial to manage the transition carefully to ensure inclusivity. Everyone should have the opportunity to benefit from the advancements in AI.
Agreed. So what can businesses do to prepare for this shift?
Businesses should start by identifying where generative AI can add value in their operations. They need to invest in technology, but also in their people, providing training and support.
Hmm.
They should also establish guidelines for responsible AI use.
Responsible AI use, that's key. With all the potential risks, how can companies ensure they're using AI ethically?
They need to implement governance structures to oversee AI deployment, address biases, protect privacy, and ensure transparency. It's about building trust with both employees and customers.
That makes sense. But what about the environmental impact? Training large AI models consumes a lot of energy, right?
Yes, you're spot on.
Hmm.
The The environmental impact is another concern. Companies need to consider the carbon footprint of AI and invest in sustainable practices, such as using renewable energy sources for data centers.
It's a complex issue. Balancing innovation with responsibility isn't easy.
True, but it's essential. Generative AI has the potential to drive significant economic growth, but we need to be mindful of the challenges and work proactively to address them.
So, in summary, generative AI is a powerful tool that could reshape industries, but it comes with responsibilities.
Exactly. It's like it's like
Haha,
discovering
yeah,
fire. It can keep us warm and cook our food, but if we're not careful, it can burn the house down.
that's a great analogy. So what's next for generative AI?
The technology is evolving rapidly. Companies are integrating it into products and services, and we're just beginning to see its potential. The key is to stay informed, adapt, and embrace continuous learning.
Definitely. And for individuals, what would you advise?
I'd say, don't fear the technology. Instead, seek to understand it. Upskill if you can, and think about how you can leverage AI in your own work. It's an opportunity for growth.
Well said. This has been an enlightening discussion. Thanks for breaking it down.
My pleasure. It's an exciting time, and I'm glad we could dive into this topic together.
Absolutely. Looking forward to seeing how generative AI shapes our future.
Me too. Thanks for the great conversation.